I am the god of thunder.
First of all, I think it's the Lord of Thunder. Second of all, Thor has a hammer. And third of all, I think he lost it.
Yes, I did lose it.
Okay, whatever. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of R&B Reviews. I'm your usual host, Rob, and today I'm welcoming back my guest critic for the day is Justin from Dusk Productions. Welcome back, Justin. It's been too damn long.
Yep, sure has.
Yeah, Thor is a movie we're definitely looking forward to, and as you can probably guess, that's what we're going to be reviewing today, Thor Ragnarok, the latest Marvel film. And basically, in a nutshell, it's the third Thor movie, and basically his long-lost sister, Hela, played by Cate Blanchett, comes back, and it's up to him and a couple of new friends to try and save Asgard and some new challenges, basically, to put it blandly, without giving too much away.
Right.
Yeah. So, Justin, what was your expectations lived up to?
Well, my first impression, I'm going to talk about the beginning of the movie. Like everything started off really fast. You know, I don't know if you felt that way, but I felt that way. Like everything just started happening really fast, and I think the things in the trailer that we saw, I thought we were going to gradually see that stuff through the movie, and you see a lot of the stuff happening right away. For instance, Thor losing his hammer, that was in the first half hour, I think. You know, so I was looking for a little bit more emotion and a little bit more of a journey to find Odin and him losing his hammer.
And you mentioned when we left the movie theater the other day that you thought about the comical tone. You had some issues with it.
Yeah, I thought the movie they were trying to be too funny. You know, if you look at Marvel's their third movie of a series like Captain America, the third one, it was real serious. And Iron Man 3, which had a deep storyline. It wasn't even really an Iron Man movie. It was more like a Tony Stark movie. And I just thought, that they were just trying to do that with when they get to the third movie of each, superhero. But with Thor, it just seemed like they were trying to be too funny. I mean, there were a lot of funny scenes, and it was cool, but when the whole movie is like a joke, it kind of cheapens the movie.
Yeah, I remember my reaction. It took me a while to get used to the tone of the movie because the first Thor movie was definitely very theatrical, probably because Thor's characters kind of are, and it was directed by Kenneth Branagh, who's a stage director who's doing movies. And then the second film, the tone of that film was dark. It took me a while to get used to the tone of this third film because it kind of, to me, I called it like Guardians of the Galaxy's cousin because it's got the same comical humor. I was a little bit surprised by the amount of adult language that was in here compared to some of the other Thor movies and a few of the other films. That's something you see more in the Guardians of the Galaxy films, not really with Thor. And so, and also the costumes are over the top. Like Jeff Goldblum plays, what's his name? It's the Grandmaster, I think is his character's name. And some of the characters in there I thought were a little bit costume-wise. You see that in Guardians of the Galaxy, but the Thor movie, I was like, it felt like to me it didn't really belong there. So it took me a while to get used to the tone. But I mean, overall, I think I did enjoy this movie to an extent, but I think I kind of liked the first film much better. I think this one's definitely better than the second film. I thought performance-wise, the acting was good. Usually I complain that a lot of the Marvel films don't have, especially with this universe, the villains. Some of the villains to me are just bland and aren't interesting. I think Cate Blanchett's character was very interesting. I think she did very well. And I also like the new character of Valkyrie. I believe she's played by Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, she did a good job. Actually. Yeah,
she's kind of replacing Jane, who was played by Natalie Portman. It was an entertaining movie. I did laugh, and I think it's a good popcorn flick, but to me, I kind of agree with you. I felt like the tone didn't really in my opinion, didn't really go very well. I felt like it was a little bit too over the top for Thor, and I thought that that tone belongs with Guardians of the Galaxy, but not really with Thor.
And I understand they're trying to set everything up for the Infinity War.
Oh yeah,
and that's why like a lot of this was just like happening like on different worlds and in space.
I mean, there's some. Let's say there's some changes that's definitely happened with the characters, and I mean it's going to take getting used to. I mean, obviously in the trailers you see Thor has shorter hair, and there's a few other things with the characters, so that was a little bit shocking to me. But then again, I understand it's similar to the comic books, so maybe people that are familiar with the comic books know. But for me, that shocked me, and I figured it's going to take me a while to get used to some of these changes.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's funny when he gets his hair cut too, like making threats, and then he's like begging. He's like, "Please don't cut my hair." You know.
I remember watching this movie, and now I'll probably get people that are more familiar with the Marvel movies. I haven't seen the Thor movies since they first came out, so I probably might be getting my information wrong. But I remember during the movie, I kept asking myself, I remember in the first film, Thor kind of had friends. Like you mentioned Lady Sif that was helping him out. And I remember during this movie, I kept thinking, where are they? Why aren't they helping out?
Well, you see some of them. Like in the first one, the other Asgard people that came to Earth looking for Thor, there was like a group of like 4 or 5 of them. All of them except Lady Sif are in there. They just don't really have roles. And bad stuff happens to them. But I don't know where Lady Sif is. I know that she was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a lot, and they were using her character. So I know Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this season is going to be in space. And of course, we got everything happening with Thor and everything, with Thanos, and everything's going to be happening in space. So maybe we'll see Lady Sif on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, that's why she wasn't on Asgard, and she comes back, and, well...
I don't know, but yeah. I think I'm going to go, even though I had some issues with it, I think I'm going to go ahead and recommend it to see in theaters. I think it's definitely something to check up on the big screen, but it's not my favorite Marvel movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was entertaining. I think people will laugh. I think people will enjoy themselves. I'm sure I haven't seen any other reviews yet, but I'm sure there's other reviews that are going to say it's one of the best Marvel movies and they love it and stuff. But to me, it was just a little bit weird for me to get used to because tone and everything. But, I think people will enjoy it.
There's only one reason why I'm going to recommend seeing it in theaters, and it's because it's a Marvel movie. And it is a Thor movie, even though it's not the best. I think out of the 3 Thor movies, this one's probably the worst one, I think. If it were any other movie, I would have said, see it on DVD.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're in the same boat, but we are still recommending the movie. And I made a bet with Justin. As many of you may or may not know, Justin doesn't like DC. I told him if we went to see Thor and we reviewed it, he had to come with me to see Justice League. So in a couple weeks, hopefully that'll happen.
Right. Yeah. We'll go see it.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm sure the viewers will appreciate it very much. And so we'll go ahead and open the comment box to you. What did you think of Thor? Ragnorak. Go ahead and post your comments and check out the main page. We'll get some other reviews of movies you can either watch in theaters or in the comforts of your own home. And if you can't wait to see this Justice League with Justin and me reviewing it, go ahead and post your comments if you're looking forward to that, and consider being a subscriber. Justin, thank you very much for letting me into your garage. I know it's a little bit cold in here because it's almost winter out there, and that's why I got my cold drink, my hot drink. But thanks for your hospitality in doing this video, and I really appreciate your insight since you're the Marvel expert.
Yeah. Alrighty, sounds good. And you better subscribe to his channel.
And you better watch his channel too.
Yes.
Check out his stuff.
Or feel the wrath of the God of Thunder.
Isn't it the Lord of Thunder?
Damn you.